Hi there. In this QuickBooks Online video, we'll quickly take a look at how we can handle sales and purchases on credit card. So we'll start with selling items on credit card. So generally when you sell items to our customers and they pay with a credit card, you have a merchant account with your financial institution. So all of the transactions that are handled with the terminal go into that account and they can be later paid out. So we just have to create that account. So I choose my gear icon and chart of accounts, and I choose a new account, and I'll call this Chase credit card account. So this is the account that my credit card merchant uses to handle all of the credit card purchases from customers, sales to customers. So the account type is bank, and we can use either checking or savings. And I'm going to give this a description just so it's perfectly clear. Sales on credit cards. And we looked at adding balances. We're going to go ahead and choose save. Now what's important is that we choose this account when we sell items to our customers when they pay with a credit card. So that's why we created that account. We could have created that account on the fly as well. So I'm going to quickly sell an item to a customer when they use a credit card. So we use a pay now transaction, a accounts receivable pay now transaction. So that's sales. We can go to sales, all sales. And this gives us all our transaction types here. What we need to use is a sales receipt. Remember, an invoice will only affect accounts receivable. This is a pay later transaction. Sales receipt allows us to choose pay now. So I choose sales receipt. This is for Suzanne Blackstone. We don't have her yet, so I'm going to quickly add her. You may have added her previously. I didn't do my exercises, but I can add her on the fly. By the way, notice that we do have a primary payment method here, so she always pays with a credit card. We can choose that credit card right there. I'll choose save. And Suzanne Blackstone, there she is there. In real life, I'd add her email. I'm just going to quickly add that as well. I'm just going to add my own email so we can quickly take a look at this transaction. Suzanne Blackstone. I'll use today. We'll look at tags later. Payment method credit card popped up because I chose that for her profile. No reference number. Notice that there is a sales receipt number though. So that's our source document number. And it automatically chose Chase credit card account. I'm not sure why it did that, but maybe a little bit of AI. And we're going to quickly sell her an Acer laptop. And I'll also sell her a Brother printer and a repair service. Those are items that we imported previously in a previous video. And I'm all set. I'm going to quickly save, and in my notes I say save and new, but I'm going to quickly choose save and send. So that'll send a receipt to that email address that I added, so we can take a look at that. This is the first time we've been able to do this because we used a test drive in level 1. So it gives me a little email. I'll go ahead, it gives me a little preview of what it looks like. Very nice, right? And save and close. Send and close, I should say. And I'll quickly create one more for Marjorie Jansen. So new transaction, again sales receipt. Marjorie, as of today, Notice her payment method didn't pop up, but the Chase credit card account did, so maybe this is a sticky setting for the account I just created. I'm not sure why. But we do want to use both credit card and Chase credit card account because we will be reconciling this account. So we want to make sure all of the transactions that affected this account are actually entered in that account. And we're selling her a HP laptop. So again, we should be all set. I'll choose, I'm not going to save it again, send it again, I'll save and close. Notice the setting that you used last from this drop down or this twirl menu becomes the default for the next time. That's a sticky setting. I'm not sure if when you leave the session if it's retained, but within the session for sure. And I'll choose save and close. And now we want to reconcile the credit card account. So it's slightly different than what we saw when we reconciled the bank account via the test drive, so we'll quickly see that. So the way we reconcile is transactions. I didn't see that right away. I was going to say there's no reconcile, but I'll choose reconcile. Get started. Let's get reconciled. Chase credit card account. Statement ending balance is 1741.29. So imagine that you have a bank statement with all of the charges. So for this will be the 2 sales that we made. That's the money we have coming to us, and there'll also be the money that the financial institution charges to accept those transactions on your behalf. So in this situation, it's going to be $15, and that's going to be today and today. So again, in this reconciliation step here, we can add our service charge and interest earned. In real life, there would actually be interest earned as well, because there'll be some time that passes between when the financial institution handled the sale and when they actually pay you. And the service charge in our situation is $15. Now, I don't actually have a service charge bank account here, so I'm going to quickly add one. Generally, throughout this application, if an account doesn't exist for a transaction, you can add it on the fly, but for some reason with the bank reconciliation, you have to go and add that separately. So I'm going to just quickly jump over to my accounts here and quickly add a new account. I'll call it bank charges. And it's an expense. And bank charges, and I'll choose save. So again, I'll go back to transaction, reconcile. I'll enter that information again. As of today. So this is the first time we've reconciled this account. So beginning balance is 0, ending balance is the total of the transactions plus the charges. Date will be today. Service charge 15, and we should have our bank charges here. Here it is there, and I'll start reconciling. So these are the 2 transactions. Again, we see these on the statement. Those are the 2 transactions we handled, and we should have a difference of 0 with those 2 transactions in the charge. Again, in real life, there would be some interest that we've earned because there will be some time between us handling the transaction and the bank paying us for the transaction. So I'll go ahead and choose finish now, and done. So on the other side of this, the AP side, I'm going to create a brand new account to handle all of our purchases with credit cards. So first of all, I'll add a brand new account to handle all of our purchases on credit cards. So this will be for each credit card that we use for purchases. Generally, you just want to have one, of course, but you may have multiple. So I'll choose my gear icon, chart of accounts, new, I'll add Bank of America Visa, account type is now a credit card. So the credit card account type is for purchases using credit cards. And I'll say credit card for purchases, just to be absolutely clear, and I'll choose save. So I'll quickly buy a couple of things with a credit card. So expenses, we choose expenses, and then expenses, new transaction, and expense. So the expense transaction type allows us to use cash, check, or credit card, whereas the check, of course, only allows check, which is also the similar to debit. I don't need this autofill expense, although it does pique my curiosity. And I'm buying something from Microtech. We don't presently have Microtech. Notice you can buy stuff from your customers as well, so I'll go ahead and add them. So vendor display name, company name, Microtech. That's all we need. I'll choose save. Credit card account, payment method, credit card, reference number, this will be their invoice number. I use M for Microtech as a prefix so I can identify transactions from Microtech. And we're buying 2 Acer laptops. So notice this expense here, this is actually fairly new. Notice we only have category, so we can't buy items. So generally the expense is when we're the end consumer of an item, but we can buy inventory for later resale using the expense as well. So if you want to add the category, the item grid, you choose the gear icon and then choose items table and turn on setting. And I can close that. And I'll close my category here, and we're going to be buying 2 Acer laptops. 2 of those. We don't pay tax. And 2 HP laptops. Should be 1159.80. And we'll go ahead and save and new. And I'll choose expenses, new transaction, expense, and I will buy something from Imperial Oil. We don't presently have an Imperial Oil, so we can, again, my favorite method of adding a new vendor is just to type their name. So if we already have them on a list, it'll pop up. And if we don't, then when we hit tab, we can quickly add them. And this is IO Forest Imperial Oil 4321. And for this one, we don't need the item. We're the end consumer of this item, so we'll see if we have an account for that. Doesn't look like we already have something, but we can add something on the fly here. So I'll add a new one. And I'll call this vehicle gas and fuel. Account type, expense, and auto. Now let's choose save. And the amount for that is $89.65. and I'll save and close. And again, we have the opportunity to reconcile credit card accounts as well as bank accounts. So if I choose transactions, reconcile, we can choose that Chase credit card account. Bank of America Visa, I should say. Statement ending balance is $1249.45 as of today. And again, just imagine that we have our statement in front of us, and we were careful to pay our balance off before we incurred any finance charges. So finance charges would include interest and any annual fees. Both of those you can write off. And I'll start reconciling. And again, we look at our statement. Oh, I don't see the two transactions here, so I think I actually chose the wrong account. So this is a happy accident. So again, if you don't see the transactions that are on your statement, but you entered them in your system, then you have to find your errors. So I'm going to just quickly look at my journal report. Actually, I can just look at my expenses. That's the quickest way. There they are there. I'll just edit that and make sure. Yep, I forgot to use Bank of America Visa. And same thing for Microtech. So that was actually a happy accident. In real life, you tend to find your errors during a bank reconciliation. So again, I'll go back to my bank reconciliation. And Bank of America Visa, I'll resume. And there's the two transactions there. When I check them off, I should be at 0. Thank goodness. I'll choose Finish Now. And once you reconcile a credit card for purchase account, a credit card account that is, you can simply go ahead and pay all or a portion of the bill now. And those of you who have used the desktop version of QuickBooks, as far as I know, the only way you could pay your credit card was by performing the reconciliation first, and you would pay directly from the credit card. You might be able to pay it after you create the reconciliation, but there is no way to pay that until you've reconciled, as far as I know. So I'm just going to choose Done here. And I'm going to use a slightly different method to pay off my. So if you choose Expenses, New Transaction, we have Pay Down Credit Card here. So credit card, Bank of America Visa, it'll show you all of your credit cards. Payee, I'll pay with, how much should you pay? Oh, so you could have an actual vendor account for Bank of America Visa. That's what this is for, but we don't need one. How much should we pay? We're paying the full amount, which is $1249.45. Of course, you would have a bill in front of you where you'd get that number from, and I'll pay from First Sound. And I'm going to say I made a payment with a check, and I'll print later. That's a good sandbox method while you're trying this out. In real life, you can actually pay directly from your bank. And save and close. So that is adding credit cards for sales as well as credit cards for purchases, and reconciling those accounts as well as paying off that credit card account. Thanks so much for watching.